Hi there, welcome to my tutorial on the AURIN Portal. Today we'll be looking at creating some walking catchments based on the street network and how far you can walk from points of interest, and we'll start by doing the train station. So for the sake of this video I've already loaded our walkability, but because it does take some time to load, but to show you how one would do so. After picking our site, after loading the interface, you just need to get a few important data sets, the first being the PSMA street network. So we'll click on there, make sure our site's set to Maribyrnong. Always make sure the geometry field is ticked, and we would go add and open. And to get a nice sort of visual effect, we can change that base map. And let's have a look at displaying. So you display your data sets on the map by choosing display on map, and just have a look down at some styles so we can sort of see those nice and easily on the map. So this is the area that we're looking at for this particular project. So basically the walkability analysis revolves around having a network, in this case being the streets, and the points of interest, as I said. So I have downloaded the train stations, so let's have a look on where they are on the map as well. Just do a nice red. So here's our train stations for this particular task that I was looking at here. I'll pop the bounding box on. That was the site for this one. So basically, to run the walkability analysis, we want to go to Tools, Walkability, the Neighbourhood Generator, and the road network being the street network, which I mentioned, and also our points of interest would be train stations for Victoria. So you've got a couple options with how you go about this. So let's say the maximum walking distance is 800 meters, and your trim distance is 30 meters, which is basically the buffer from the street network. So if your streets are approximately 20 or 30 meters wide, you might want to do it this way, and this will give you an effect that basically it hugs quite closely to the street network. And let's have a look how that comes up on our. So it's added to our data set. So we're going to display that on the map. Let's keep it to the reds, and that's the sort of effect you get. So as I said, it hugs quite closely to the network there. The other option would be to run that analysis, and you can kind of get that blobby effect, and you might want to do that at different intervals, such as 800 meters, 700 meters, 600 meters, and then you'd change this to maybe 100 meters, so you get a real sort of blob that's quite thick. And basically the end result will be something like this. So you'll have your 100 meter trains with the blobs, 200 meters, and obviously you start to see them work up. And the darker areas will be the more intense walking locations. In the event you wanted to create your own points, you can do that. Let me just clear all that, and what we can do is, hypothetically, when we wanted to map walking distances from supermarkets or groceries or cafes or something along the lines of that, we can. I'll do this in another tab in Google to get a better understanding of where things are, because sometimes using the base maps here, they lack a little bit in information. But so let's say that we wanted to look at cafes. So this one's here. Let's add a point. So we basically draw a point. You can click on that. And let's say, for the sake of this example, there's another cafe down here, and there's one here. So then what we want to do is save geometries as a data set. We can name that cafes. And then here we are, we have it here. So we can get out of the draw window, which they'll disappear, but when we display those on the map, they'll appear as what we had before, similar to the train station. So then from there, we can run a walkability analysis to kind of get an understanding of residential areas within, or dwellings within proximity to places of activity, such as our cafes. So let's just do 500 meters and a trim distance of, we'll leave it at 30, and that will start the workflow, and it shouldn't take too long as there's only 3 points. And let's have a look how that turned out on our map. There's the output walkability here. Display that on the map. And here we go. So there's some basic sort of tools that we can use to map some walkability analysis, and from there you can really start to work up some good data sets based on tram stops, bus stops, or, as I said, anything you want to map as well. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.